Nico and the Magic Clock. One rainy afternoon, a boy named Nico was playing in his grandma's attic. He found a dusty old clock hiding under a pile of old clothes. The clock had shiny numbers, and a golden key was sticking out. "I wonder what this does," Nico said. He turned the key, and suddenly the clock started to spin and spin. "Whoa!" Nico shouted. Everything went dark for a second. Then he opened his eyes and found himself on a warm, sunny beach. Nico saw huge boats with big white sails coming ashore. He noticed some men wearing strange clothes. A fisherman nearby smiled at Nico and said, "That's Ferdinand Magellan. He's an explorer. He's come from far away. Why are they here?" Nico asked. "They want to learn about this land and trade with us," the fisherman said. Nico watched as the villagers traded shiny beads, bright cloth, and tasty food with Magellan's. Nico picked up a shiny bead. "This is cool," he said, but things didn't go as planned for Magellan. Not everyone in the Philippines was happy to see these visitors. The story of Magellan's visit was just beginning, and Nico's clock pulled him to another exciting moment. Nico was now on another beach. This one was smaller. He saw men with spears and shields. They were getting ready to fight. In front of them was a strong man named Lapu-Lapu. "Who are they fighting?" Nico asked a boy nearby. "Lapu-Lapu is protecting our island," said the boy. "Magellan and his men want to take over, but we won't let them." Nico watched as Lapu-Lapu's warriors fought bravely. Lapu-Lapu looked strong and fearless. Finally, the battle was over, and Lapu-Lapu had won. "Hooray!" Nico cheered. "You did it!" Lapu-Lapu smiled at him and said, "We protect our home no matter what." After the battle, Nico saw how strong and brave the people of the Philippines could be. As he cheered, the clock in his pocket glowed, ready to take him to another important time in history. "Here we go," he said, and off he went. Nico was now standing in a busy town. He could hear people cheering and music playing. Flags waved everywhere. A boy handed Nico a small flag. "Why are you so happy?" Nico asked. "It's Independence Day," the boy said. "Today, we are free from Spain." Nico smiled and waved his flag. Fireworks popped in the sky. "Wow, this is a big party," Nico said. "Yes, it is," the boy laughed. But before Nico could join the celebration, the clock in his pocket began to spin. "Not yet," he said, but it was too late. The clock buzzed again, showing Nico that there were more stories to learn. Some not so happy, but very important. Nico found himself traveling to a time of great struggle. Nico was now in a quiet village. The sky was gray, and he heard flames above. It was a scary time. He saw a young girl, Lita, hiding food behind a tree. "What are you doing?" Nico asked. "I'm hiding food for our neighbors," Lita said. "The Japanese soldiers are here, and we must be careful. Can I help?" Nico asked. "Yes," said Lita. "Take this bag of rice and hide it with me." Nico was a little scared, but he felt brave helping Lita. "We can do it," he said. "Thank you," said Lita with a smile. Just then, the clock in Nico's pocket glowed brightly. "Time to go," he said. He waved goodbye to Lita and was pulled to the next place. Nico was now standing on a big road. All around him were families, friends, and children holding yellow flowers. They were smiling and singing together. "What's happening?" Nico asked a lady beside him. "It's the People Power Revolution," she said. "We want peace and freedom." Nico watched as everyone held hands and sang songs of hope. There were no soldiers, no fighting, just people working together. A little girl gave Nico a yellow flower. "Here, take this," she said. "Thank you," said Nico, holding the flower tightly. He felt warm and happy inside. The clock in his pocket glowed one last time. "Back home," Nico said, and in a flash, he was back in his grandma's attic. Nico looked at the magic clock in his hand. He had learned so much about the Philippines, about explorers, heroes, freedom, and being brave even when things were hard. He smiled and said, "I can't wait to tell my friends all about my adventure." Now, every time Nico hears a clock ticking, He remembers his exciting adventures and all the amazing people he met in history. Let us go back and follow Nico's journey through time. From the arrival of explorers to battles for freedom, brave moments, and peaceful revolutions. These stories show how the Philippines became the country it is today. Point at the picture that goes with each of them. In 1521, a man named Magellan came to the Philippines on big ships. And this was the first time the Spanish met the people on land. That same year, a brave leader named Lapu-Lapu and his men fought against Magellan, and they won the battle to protect their land. Later, on June 12, 1898, the people of the Philippines said they were free from Spain, and they celebrated the beginning of a new country. During World War II, 1942 to 1945, Japanese soldiers took over the Philippines, but the Filipino people worked together to stay safe and strong. Finally, in 1986, millions of Filipinos came together peacefully, and they brought back freedom and fairness to their country.